Able Arts on Air is proud to present a podcast brought to you by the disastrous duo of Peter and Richard Johnson, who say they're not quite sure why they have a podcast, but such is life. This is the Athletic Supporters Sports Podcast.
And welcome back to the Athletic Supporters, the show where we don't just talk sports. We live, eat, breathe, and die sports. And believe me, we've died on this show plenty of times. I'm Richard Johnson. I'm here with my longtime partner and sometime brother, Peter, and we're talking about Super Bowl 56 between the LA Rams and the Cincinnati Bengals. I call them the Bengals. Why? Because they had a 4th and 1 on their last drive. All they needed was a yard for a first down. They could keep the ball, keep driving down the field for a possible game-tying field goal or game-winning touchdown. What do? They drop back the pass. Can you believe they drop back the pass? 4th and 1 is easier than an open book test. Instead of running.
Sure surprised me, but every time I try to make a pass, I usually get slapped by the girl. So
that's right. Totally right. Terrific insight. Terrific insight, Peter. Keep those insights coming and we'll shorten the show. And you heard the crickets. Anyway, 4th and 1, and they pass. No wonder they haven't won a Super Bowl in their history. The Rams have won too, you know. The first one was in 99 when they were still in St. Louis, but the Rams have been all over the place. The Rams, well, I don't know what to say, but they won the game, the second Super Bowl win in their history, and that's enough history because it's boring. Super Bowl 56 and the halftime.
56. Yeah. I was trying to figure out what Super Bowl LV was. LVI, I was like,
I think it's
LV.
I think it's LVVI something in case anybody cares. But you thought it was an Elvis impersonator?
I didn't know.
You didn't know. Okay. Well, it was impersonating. It was almost impersonating a Super Bowl for a while there, but it was closer than your normal Super Bowl. It wasn't a blowout like a lot of them have been. But I think actually most of the game was not bad. It was certainly a lot better than the halftime show, which we'll talk about later. But one thing I wanted to get in before we kind of ended this segment was I was looking for one guy in particular on the Rams, Troy Reeder, because he went to my high school. Unfortunately,
high school?
What's that?
You went to high school.
You forgot?
No, but I thought you did.
I kind of slept through most of it. But speaking of that, let's hear from our sponsor now, Flickinger's Ice Cream. The ice cream with that old-time flavor, so that good tasting ice creams as a distant memory. I believe we've got some footage from the local Stop and Shop with a satisfied customer. Scoop lots more here outside the local Stop and Shop with another satisfied customer of Flickinger's Lasagna Nut Fudge Ice Cream. What's your name, sir? James, how would you describe in one word the taste of Flickinger's Lasagna Nut Fudge?
One word, yuck.
And by yuck, you mean fantastic?
Absolutely not.
You would absolutely not eat another flavor other than Flickinger's Lasagna Nut Fudge. You would not eat anything but Flickinger's Lasagna Nut Fudge. It's your absolute favorite.
That's not what I said.
That's not what you said. You did not say you would not eat Flickinger's Lasagna Nut Fudge.
No, I did not say that.
There you have it, ladies and gentlemen. Another satisfied customer of Flickinger's Lasagna Nut Fudge ice cream. Pick some up and shut up. Pick some up at your local store today. Flickinger's Lasagna Nut Fudge, a tradition since 5 o'clock Tuesday. And yes, we certainly have a lot of that Flickinger's ice cream in the studio fridge for those long, actually the freezer, for those long podcast nights. Back to our high school days, you remember, Peter, that time you lost the tuba back in band.
And I thought you already mentioned that. And I'm not the one who got the Super Ball stuck in the baritone horn. So,
well, that's because of that forward-pointing bell those things have. But, of course, there was the time that we actually helped our football team win a game by breaking into the locker room at halftime and stealing the other team's shoes.
Yes, I've had athlete's foot ever since.
As well, you should. And if we can talk about one more thing, well, maybe not having to do with high school, but have you noticed in the recent Super Bowls that some of them have tended to be a bit closer as far as the score is concerned? They haven't been these blowouts that we have been seeing. You think the NFL is trying to do something to promote having closer games than they have in the past? I think maybe they're kind of getting the word down to the teams. Let's try and make things a little closer. Or I could be totally off the wall with that. I don't know what
You
you
could,
think.
because the football field is still only 100 yards.
Yeah, that's true. Another sterling insight from Peter there. Keep those coming, because you can never be too bored. And let's go back to our sponsor, Flickinger's Ice Cream. Family owned and operated, because nobody else works that cheap. There's a lot of Flickingers out there, it turns out, because they're a family with no particular hobbies, and they have a new flavor, which is alligator cricket. Another one of Flickinger's new and exciting flavors. Remember, Flickingers has that vintage ice cream flavor, so that good tasting ice cream is a distant memory. That's Flickingers, probably available at a store somewhere in your not so immediate vicinity. Flickingers, spelled just like it sounds. Scoop Lots more here, back with James, our satisfied customer of Flickinger's ice cream, this time trying a brand new flavor, alligator cricket. Jim doesn't know he's being recorded secretly. Let's listen in for some candid customer reaction. I'm sure this new flavor will be a hit.
Alligator cricket. This is absolutely awful. And I'm paying enough. It just da. My goodness, I can't believe anybody would ever eat this garbage. So in the garbage, I never want to eat it again.
Well, as you can hear, it is a hit. Flickinger's alligator cricket ice cream. Pick some up to what? He said what? He's not going to sue, is he? Call the lawyers. He has some kind of cash app, doesn't he, on his phone? Let's make sure that he's well compensated. Meantime, isn't there a buyout on my contract? Flickinger's alligator cricket ice cream. Pick some up today. Use the promo code Gator and get 195 pounds for just $1.95. Because face it, it's not exactly flying off the shelves. Flickinger's alligator cricket. Pick some up today. And back to the athletic supporters. I'm Richard. He's Peter. What is up with the Super Bowl halftime show? I'm not talking about the style of the music or the people performing the music. I'm talking about what's up with the technical problems the last 2 years. What are they doing?
Yeah, I think they forgot to plug in the mics or something, because you're sitting there going, I think they're singing something, but I can't really hear it. So that is frustrating. And sometimes you just go, "Arr!" And
the last couple of years, they've had kind of the titans of music at the halftime show. I know this year they had pretty much all the titans of hip hop, if you will, or even if you won't. And they did them a disservice by having lousy technical operation.
Well, I thought it was very clever of them. Football has 4 quarters, and at halftime they brought out 50 Cent.
Another great observation, Peter. Almost said operation because it felt like surgery. But yeah, keep those coming, and we'll definitely shorten the show. The halftime show, as we mentioned, not up to par technically, but you I think had a point you wanted to make, Peter, about the recent closeness of Super Bowl games.
Yes, we were talking about that during the break, and I honestly wanted to say I think what it is that the athletes are taking winning and losing of the Super Bowl more seriously than they might have, because I think previously they were all excited, like, we made it to the Super Bowl, and they weren't thinking as much about strategy. And I think that's what, or at least one team or the other wasn't. And I think that's what's making the games closer, is that they're actually playing football. And so that is my observation.
And I actually think that would be a valid point, except for the fact that it's totally not. I would elaborate on that, but I think, do we have time to move on to another point, or are we getting short here? Because I know soon we're going to have to
say one more thing, I think.
Okay. I'm going to make one more point, and that is that this Super Bowl and halftime show overall just left me with a feeling of, I wasn't overly impressed or overly unimpressed. I was kind of halfway between. I don't know about you, Peter. Well, we'll have to get Peter.
I liked it for the most part.
Liked it for the most part. Okay.
Yeah.
Overall reaction?
Yeah. I I was sort of, as you said, the ending was sort of anticlimactic.
Right.
But,
okay. So I can say 2 thumbs sideways?
Yes, that'll work.
As we wrap things up from the Athletic Supporters Podcast, again, thank you for joining us. We're happy to have you. Make sure that you go to that channel and hit the subscribe button because that helps us. And also, I want to invite you to stay tuned for next time when we'll discuss spring training, yes or no. Until then, I'm Victor.
Train those springs anyway.
Another totally great observation that definitely will cure your insomnia. Keep those coming. Till then, I'm Richard. He's Peter. We're out of here.
And that's all for today, folks. You've been listening to the Athletic Supporters on Able Arts on Air. Make sure you hit the subscribe button and check Able Arts out on Instagram at Able Arts Inc., Facebook at Able Arts Inc., Twitter at Able Arts Inc., and check out our website, ableartsinc.org. All right, guys, we'll see you next time. That's all for us, and special shout out to Paul Mackey, Frank Gerace, and James Fee for working behind the scenes. I'll see you next time.